Hello, John again. Continuing on with Santi training. Apparently I have a drinking problem. I got water all over me. So, but the last one we did was basically the intro to, killing me, the intro to Santi, kind of talking about it, reading from a couple of teachers, including Sun Lutong and one of his students, that also had, really good books about that, and kind of gave those recommendations. So now what I want to do is actually demonstrate and sort of teach and get into, I should say, how to get into Santi. Again, super important, massively important posture to do. Do this well, the rest of the shingi will kind of fall into place as you keep training. It's like with Taiji, once you start really understanding Pangjing, the rest of them start falling into place. Especially once you start getting Liujin in there, because Pangjing, that ward off, Liuju, that yield and redirect. I call Pangjing the keystone energy of Taiji, and Liuji the poster child of it. So Santi is up there with that relationally to Shingi, uh, as opposed to Taiji. Now, again, all three, Taiji, Shingi, Bagua, will all have stuff that does this. All of them will have certain training aspects. I think my teacher would say, and we would talk about this, Taiji is really good. It gives you sensitivity, how to kind of move and flow, stay relaxed, stay up. Shingi helps with like fudging and power and cutting through things straight and angles. Bagua helps get you on the circles and really twisting and flowing at that sort of like snaky dragon body going on. And they all kind of have ways to train that, but there are things that coincide together. And you just kind of got to know where to find them. And after time, you start seeing it. But Santi is super important with cultivating the Xingyi and that Yangjing. So I'm going to do it in a couple ways here and then out. I got my magisterial glow about me now, because my landlord, when they had to put siding on the house that's falling apart, decided that the extra, you know, $2 he would have to spend on getting the people who did not a great job at it was too much to put the awning back up. And I could wait, but the lighting in here isn't great, so I kind of do need daytime for it. So when we're talking about keeping the body straight, so straight doesn't mean this. Again, that relaxed chest, the back straight. Now we're taught, a lot of times you'll see kind of that squat thing or this lean. Neither good. Shoulders and the hips lined up. That tailbone is gently tucked under, so we're not kind of sticking out, and we kind of don't have that silly walk. Nice and straight. Crown of the head, the bihui, over the perineum, the huiyin perineum, being the lowest point on the torso. There are some more colloquial, I guess you could say, ways to call it that. I'm just going to go with that right now. This is a family show, I think. We're keeping this, this and here, nice and lined up. So here and here, I'll just sort of do my cutaway, nice and lined up. Again, shoulders not back, shoulders a little forward, nice and relaxed. In here, not collapsed, not sort of hunchback, old babushka lady kind of coming in, or just dog tired. None of that. Nice and up. So we want to actually keep the head up, like you got a little hook, like you're being pulled up here, like those skeletons in like biology classrooms. But we're not being very snooty about it. No. Zoop. So the chin is in. Tongue behind the teeth, roof of the mouth. We have head up, chin in. So with the head up like this and being pulled up, That's helping bring all the vertebrae, instead of being collapsed with this, opening them up a little bit, getting that to expand and open. It's the reason why the Chen family with Tai Chi have the Fang Sung Gung sort of routine, is to work that spine and get stuff to stretch and come up. And we want to do that with this too. So we're going to have that with the body posture, hands at the sides. You know, more kind of a little more formally, actually running along that sort of middle finger, running along that midline. There's that hollow line. What is it? The quadricep kind of wraps over, and the hamstrings back here. There's that kind of hollow line. That's just one really big pressure point. Usually, I have some pretty good knots in there myself. I know I've had. You know, my ex would kind of work on that and found some nice little knots. And a couple times, lying flat on my stomach, I still somehow was able to jump up getting them. So it's a good place to get some knots out. But there's that line in there, and that's kind of what that second finger, that how do you do finger, kind of lined up in there, but not military. No, nice and relaxed, pulling that in. Now we're going to start with the legs are straight, but not the knees aren't locked. So, but that they're straight, and the heels are going to be together, and the feet make a 90-degree angle. We still want to be able to bend, and my knees want to be able to run out over those, over the toes. It's kind of, so the knees are pointing out as well. Now the knees over the heels, being able to bend and come out over the toes, super important. Now when I say 90 degrees or 45 degrees, those are sort of the general ideals. Everyone's going to be slightly different. Apparently I'm pigeon-toed, so I kind of gotta do a little extra little cheat to make sure that my feet are pointing the right way, and my alignments between my knees and my hips and up and down the chain are correct, because I'm pigeon-toed. Some other people might be pigeon-toed, maybe worse, maybe not as much as me. Other people might be sort of duck splayed or something like that. Other people fine. But the proportions of the leg and the knee and injuries and all this other stuff, a lot of things come into play. But you kind of, there's squiggle kind of room for adjustment of what's going to work most best for the individual. 90 degrees, 45 degrees, things like that are ideals. So here, I'm going to do both ways that I know to get into Santi. I'm going to do the sort of way that I teach beginners first, and then work on the way that I do it, the way I was first taught, the way I like more. First thing I'm going to do is the feet, because it's going to be the same for both. We're going to be even weighted, 50-50. What we're going to do is shift to the right. This is my right side. It's going to be flipped for you, but this is my right. I'm going to lift the toes, so I'm going to still pivot on the heel and bring this straight. That's going to even out again. Eventually we're going to sink. As we sink, the weight comes back to the right, and the left foot comes out straight. So my left foot is coming out straight from the heel, like the heel is like part of a barrier, and I'm coming straight out from there. Now I'm trying to line this up with the camera as well. If I come back, I'm trying to drag this as straight as I can, I'm kind of maybe brushing that heel a little bit because this thing's got a little nub. You don't want to do this. That's not good if you're lined up to the point where you're hitting yourself. Couple reasons. One reason, you're squeezing off that Hui Yin. You're squeezing off that perineum, and that's a major sort of access point or transition point between the meridians and the energy from the upper body and the lower body and how they flow and go up. Meridians all over the body. So in a qigong sort of way, you're starting to squeeze that off. In a very practical way, and even in a martial way, why are you kicking yourself? First of all, in just a physiological way, trying to hold the body up, having that extra little in there helps distribute the weight better. And also, because we want this empty. I mean, there's this motion. You know, you want that kind of thing. In, out, shoot. You come in, come back, and I can't even do it. Come back and kick yourself. You kick yourself. You know, you don't want to be the guy either in a in a match with rules in a ring, or in, heaven forbid, real life, who kicks himself and sweeps himself down. You do a takedown on yourself, not good in a lot of different ways. So you want to keep a little bit of space. It's about an inch, inch and a half is starting to get a little too much with that. But if you step back, you want to be able to clear that. So the heels actually shoot out from that, and you want to clear it a little bit. So again, we start at 90 degrees. We shift the weight to the right leg, lift up the toes, pivot in. As I pivot in, I'm not just moving my foot. You see, it's not just my leg moving. I'm actually turning my hips. My head remains straight, facing the camera straight ahead of me. My hips come out, and now my navel is with this foot, which is now basically, since this is straight, this is 45. My shoulders, my hips, sternum, navel, facing 45, because the shoulders and the hips, this torso, we don't want to twist and bind. So if my navel's here and my sternum's here, you see how they're separating? We don't want that. We want this. And it's not just stiff robot moving. It's everything is just one piece, because this is the thoracic hinge right here, because thoracic's that middle part of the back, cervical is the neck. We have the lumbar and the kind of small of the back, and we get the sacral, which is, you know, right above the tailbone and the tailbone. So right here is the main part of the thoracic, and that's a hinge. We don't want that to bind and twist. Again, it's the way we do this, it's going to start maybe pinching off organs, pinching off, doing different stuff with meridians and the blood flow and everything like that. There's one Qigong thing I know that actually from the I Ching Jing, yeah, that does that with a specific type of breathing, because it actually wants to massage the liver right in through here, and it's doing it for that. It's like the one thing, and it's Qigong, it's not a martial art. So we want to keep this all together. So even, feet 90 degrees. Weight goes to the right. Pivot on the heel. Straight. Whole body pivots. So the body's facing 45. We now have less of a target here. This, big target. This, less of a target. As I sink, my right knee is coming out over my toes. My left knee is coming out over those toes. I lift the whole foot, slide forward, and set the whole foot down. It's not heel toe. It's not heel toe. It's not down and down. It's slide. So it's like it's icy or it's wet when you're going into a slipper. Those are a couple of the sort of mental images I've learned over time. You know, sliding into a slipper, being careful over ice or wet surfaces and things like that. So from the side, it's going to look like this. Again, just the feet. 90 degrees. My weight shifts. I toe in, straight, sink, slide. So this is where two of the three vertical alignments we talked about come in. The back hip over the back heel, the front knee over the front heel. And this is what I was talking about. If my shin and calf are straight, then my legs like this. And my weight's starting to come out in front of my heel. My weight isn't going through the heel. So you can see there's a little bit of an angle with my calf and my shin. But my knee, if you just sort of took a picture and did a little dip drawing, my knee is over the heel. Another important tip with the heel is the pivoting on the heel as we're twisting that leg. Pivot on the heel, keeping the weight on that helps keep rooting. Sometimes if there's like kobu, 180 or even more sort of twists, like if you do Fair Maiden or Jade Maiden works at shuttles, in Yang style, they have those, the different off cardinal points, the twisting, the big ones with that. If you're coming around here and I'm stepping out this way, I have to readjust this. I still lift the toes and pivot on the heel. The heel comes up, you cut your root. So with this, with Santi, we want to get in and sink and be rooted and have all the body as one thing. We twist on the heel to help keep that root and help be able to issue then power. So staying on the heel is important. Again, from the other side now. Weight shifts right, toe in the left, sink, slide. Again, there's the alignments. My body's 45 with this back leg. I'm not kicking my own heel. My weight's up, I can move it, so I'm not here. I don't have to shift to move. My weight's just here. Good. So that's just the feet with it. Now we're going to do a couple things with the hands. First one is the one I'll usually go with beginners. So we're here at the sides. I'll get kind of here. Get a little bit of that golden ratio thing going on without getting too blinded by my Nosferatu skin. As I come up, I'm going to make a fist. Now fist isn't here, or isn't this, or isn't this. Fist is roll in the knuckles, tuck in, wrap. This, because we want that energy to be able to circulate in the appropriate way. So I roll in, I come up. Now, I'm coming up my center. And this is going to come up when we do Peach Wan 2. I don't want the Popeye hand, or the speed bag. We're not doing speed bag drills. So we don't want, this is something else. What we want is bringing up the center line so we point the elbow down. So as I bring up the center line, see how that's different than, see the difference? So I want to bring up the center line. Come up, I come up to like that, this little bit here, and my other hand comes up, slides up. I'm actually rubbing my forearms. So I rub the forearm. When I get here, I open. So we're going to do that bit again. I come in all at once. After I turn in and I'm here, I make fists, come up the center. So I bend and then point the elbow down, up, and open. So I'm actually, can you hear it? Like the worst cricket. Come up, palms together. All right, so now next thing, we're going to separate that too. This will definitely be part of splitting. So splitting with this, we've taught, and I might have mentioned it for Taiji, but it's almost like the idea of like ripping a phone book. So we want from here, so the front hand comes up and chops. The back hand pulls down and in. So you want to, it's like tearing, and you get the whole body with it. And so the whole body is still going to move together. So the front hand, which is my left, comes up and chops. So it kind of raises up, turns over, and falls and chops. Now this is sitting the palm, so the fingers are straight up, the wrist and the shoulder even. Grandmaster Hu, when you're here and you're looking at it, he makes the hand like ghost. So your hand is enough where it's kind of in front of the one eye, so the other eye, when you get the binocular vision with it, it actually looks like you're looking through your hand. And the sort of mouth, the tiger's mouth here, is almost like a sight. So this is where you want to be looking. And it looks like a ghost with the wrist and the shoulder in line. The bottom hand, when it pulls down, this is my navel. This sounds like I'm going to get into something else. I'm not. So this is my navel. About here is the dantian. This bit of the thumb, in the bone of the knuckle of the thumb, is in against that. And my hand slightly lifts. And one of the reasons for that is because there's still This is the E part, the intent part. In no part in Taiji, Xingyi, or Bagua, as soon as you open until you finish closing, is anything dead? Is anything just... Ugh. This is where people get in a lot of trouble with stuff. They think, well, I'm playing Tai Chi, so I'm here, and this hand's kind of whatever, and this hand's moving, so I don't have to do anything about this. I just leave it relaxed, because Tai Chi is just relaxation. No. Xingyi, same thing. Both hands have intent. When I come out to split, oh, that sounds better. It sounds like I just changed the channel on my throat box. Then both hands are active. Now, this hand is still going to be considered yang. It's forward, it's up, it's coming out, it's active. This hand is still going to be considered yin. It's down, it's coming back. But that doesn't mean that it's empty. It's limp. It doesn't mean that. Empty does have the connotation of filled, so this might actually be then void. We don't want that. We still want intent coming through it. There's still a purpose to this here. If you got, because one of the things for this, if someone reaches out, you kind of grab, you come up, you deflect, kind of parry, you can grab and chop. You can chop them, or even take that arm and kind of arm bar it. You can do a lot of stuff with this. But now all if you do is you come up and you have that parry, you have that block, and then you let this hand go and just do that, it's not going to do anything. They'll be like, ow, okay, punch, you're done. No, this still needs to have a purpose too. And even as you're standing there, it doesn't start getting new. Still intense, still active. So the palm is pressing slightly down. The fingers aren't either. Now we don't want this either. We don't want that either. We want out. So there's that. Hurt myself on that one. There's that happy medium of here. So it should look like this. Now here's that third vertical alignment. When I come out, fingers over the toes, knee over the heel, hip over the heel. Anyway, so this is kind of the finished product in both ways to get into it. So this first way here, sort of full noop, full body. Again, hands at the sides, body straight. Shift, toe in. I come up. My weight's here on my right. I step out and chop. So another important thing to remember for all three internals, hand and feet together, elbows and knees, shoulders and hips. If I'm moving that foot out, chances are I'm moving a hand too. So especially with this, there are times where it's opposite hand, opposite foot, but it's still a hand and foot are coming out together, an elbow and knee, a shoulder and hip working together with that. So again, first way, here, I shift to the right, toe in the left, I bring up my right hand to the dantian, point the elbow down, my left hand comes up as well, hands come in front of my face. Now my weight is all on my right foot. My left foot is up. It's hovering. And I open. Now I'm going to slide out as I chop and pull down. So from the side, toe in, up, my weight's on my right, I come out and chop. Other side, toe in, come up, and chop. So that's kind of the way I teach beginners part one to get into Santi. This next one is the way I get into it myself when I practice on my own. When people have done it for a while, I'm like, all right, do this. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to come up with the hands now. So there's going to be an opening, expansion, and then gathering. So it's almost like there's Feng Ji Xiang's Chen Su Gong, the silk reeling sort of work, as opposed to Chen Zhao Wang's Chen Si Gong, Chen Si Jing, just sort of the more intent of the silk reeling. Has that sort of expand, 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 come together, sink idea. So you're getting everything, getting opening, getting expansion, you're getting gathering in, and song, sink, driving in. And what we want to do is, we're almost gonna, have you ever done little shadow puppets and you make little turtles? Well, you make the little turtle there with, I can't line up, with your pinkies and your thumbs. You're kind of going along those lines. The heck? You're kind of going along those lines with it. So as we come up, we're going to expand, we're going to come up, shoulder height, so again, wrists, shoulders. We're going to come up, elbows down. Third, the ring finger of the right hand to the index finger of the first. The middle fingers line up, and then first to middle. And we're going to come in. Now, important point with Tai Chi. I'm not collapsing in here. I'm not bringing in my arms to squish my sides. There's still space. There's still that kind of fist space between here. We don't want to collapse in and crunch. We want to gather in. So I come in and gather, sink. And from there it comes out. So it's still going to have that kind of up and chop and out, as well as coming down. But it's going to come from here. So it's going to come out, almost shoot out a little bit more, but it still has that up, out, and chop, and pull down with it. So again, with just sort of lining up the fingers. We're at our sides. We circle up. This is with the inhale. 3 to 1, 2 to 2, 1 to 3. Exhale. Out. Out. Okay, so whole body, front. I'm very popular. Again, hands at the sides, 90 degrees. As I shift weight now, as I'm shifting weight and toeing in, that's when my hands come up. I'm coming in, together, 3 to 1, 2 to 2, 1 to 3, sink. As I sink again, on the right leg, left leg empty, and out. Again, breathe in, toe in, come up. 3 to 1, 2 to 2, 1 to 3, down, out. One side, up, other side, now I'm going to show how to get into the other side. So it's not just a hair and then try and figure out. No, you want to keep that intent, the sort of through line going in. What was that, doggy? Silly. That sort of through line going through. You don't want to break it. That's the same thing. This, if I'm here and I'm moving and I'm doing my thing here, this dumps that out. It's almost like you're trying to take a bath and then you just pull the plug and a bunch of water comes out. You have your house wired up, but you go ahead and like strip one of the wires that you're trying to get a circuit going to. It's not going to work the way it's supposed to, and then you got to repair it, and everything's got to build back up. So you want to get to the point where you don't have to do that cutoff or rebuilding. You can just keep it going in a through way, and then keep building instead of kind of doing this. So again, feet first. I'm in the Santi position here. I'm going to toe out. So I'm going to pivot on the heel to 45. From my back foot, I'm going to push my weight forward. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but my knee and my toes are lined up. I'm not collapsed in. I'm not opening out. This, you're going to fall over. This, you're going to kill your knee. I'm coming in, and my back foot, as it peels up, comes in and shoots straight out. Again, 45 and straight. So you can walk with this too. So you're going to toe out, push forward. Now this, the back leg, at this point my left. Now the weight's here on my right, so this peels up on the left, and I come in straight past the heel and continue forward straight. So I'm not coming in here and stopping. I'm not coming in here and kicking myself. I'm not coming out and around. I'm here, I shoot straight past and through, and it will bring you back to here. So, toe out, push, lift up. But watch, if I say lift up, I'm lifting up the heel. Watch what I'm not doing. I'm going to try and use this line here in the window as reference. What did I not do? I didn't come up past that line. So I'm here, I'm not doing this Oompa Loompa dance sort of thing. Yang style Tai Chi really emphasizes keeping the head level as you go. Same thing with this. You don't want to bounce up and down. You want to keep those knees bent. That's getting that energy rolled up. You're getting that coiled spring in there, that back leg, and knees, that coiled spring. You start laying up, you're easing off. You don't want to ease off. You want to keep it consistent. You want to keep the knees bent, keep yourself sunk. So in the Santi stance, toe out, push, knees lined up, peel up, step through. Now this is pretty much mostly empty. Most of my weight's here, going through my heel into the ground with my knee lined up with my foot, my hip over the heel. I can feel, yeah, there's some muscle being used, especially here in the quadricep. I worked, all day first. I went to the gym and did like a whole body workout, so there's a bunch of squats and stuff in there too. So my legs are a little tired, but I'm really feeling that. It really feels like if this were my heel and this were the ground, it's like pressing in, and I feel it through my leg, through my heel. I'm not feeling like, and I used to do this when my alignment wasn't good, because I didn't, I had to work up to this over time. My alignments weren't good, and this is one of the great things about standing. You do standing meditations, you do standing postures, it really starts showing you where stuff isn't lined up. You really get it, and you make those minor adjustments, and all of a sudden it goes like, oh, that's a little better. You remember that. I'm not trying to make people stand in stress positions like this is Guantanamo Bay or something like that, but trust me, the standing stuff helps. You want to get the alignments right, you want to get your posture right, you want to start feeling stuff moving, you want to start feeling where dantans or chakras or anything out there. Standing postures are awesome. But you get that alignment right, you feel, yeah, you're going to feel the muscle fatigue, you're going to feel it kind of cranking, especially if you want to sink more with it. Then you really, I couldn't help it. I'm sure I did that before, but I don't care. You really start feeling that going through the foot into the floor, as opposed to then building pressure in your lower back, your hip, or most likely in with the knee. We got enough knee problems in our culture, and it's usually due to other stuff. A lot of times my knee problems I eventually learned how to do with my back. Other people might be hips. A lot of people, it's the actual knee. So you want to minimize exacerbating that as much as you can, if not even kind of get rid of it. So keeping those alignments, knee over the heel, feeling the heel pressed into the ground, way better for you. Correct in terms of the internals, also way better for your feeling as well. So I'm going to do, oh no, we're walking. I already did that other part. We're walking, so I'm going to show the step from the side. So we're in Santi. I'm going to toe out. So you can toe out, or there's going to be, you can do a little step, but it's still pivoting on the heel, and I'm still sliding. If I do the step, I'm not like Tai Chi. It slides. And I push and step through. Now watch my hips. I toe out, I'm moving my, so it's actually my dantian that's driving the step. And I'm facing this, so my alignment is with that front foot. My alignment, I don't know if you can hear me. My alignment's with this front foot as I turn, but my head is still straight. Step through. Other way. Toe out. Push. So my hips are going that way. My hips are still that way, but my head's this way. So if I step, now this hand, my hips are going this way, but my head is still looking here. Right, the head and the eyes want to keep looking forward. Xingyi is not much about retreating. It's pretty much forward, including when there's even stuff where, we're, coming back, the intent is still driving forward. And you don't want to now, if this angle here, you guys, is my opponent, I don't want to, look away from that because I'm punched in the face, which sucks. Chip in the tooth, crooked nose, it sucks to get punched in the face. It sucks to get punched anywhere, especially the face. I think it was Mike Tyson who said everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face because being punched in the face sucks. You want to minimize your opportunity for that. So keep your eyes forward, even as you're going to, the head's kind of here. Now my alignment vertically is still vertically aligned, but I'm not doing all this stuff too. I'm not looking around. And the intent, the E part of that is super crucial, and it really helps. Xingyi really emphasizes it. And when you do Bagua, Taiji, or even Qigong, or reading or writing or talking to people or driving or anything, it really starts making that intense and that sort of Zen samurai laser kind of focus. It really helps train that. So now we're going to add the hands. We're going to add the hands with that opening. So we come up. Now, hands, feet, elbows, knees, shoulders, hips are lined up. So as I toe my foot, I'm going to move my hand. So that pivot on the heel, pivot on the wrist. Pivot, hand and foot together. So as this back foot comes in, my other hand comes in. And again, we're riding up the forearm and come out together. Same thing, toe out, turn the hand, come up together. So hand and foot come in that meet. If I took a picture here, this would be like the middle. Come out and through. So it has that up and chop and pull down. From the side. I know Daddy's not petting you, baby. Look out, Puppus. Look out, puppies. At that belly. Hand and foot turn, push forward, hand and foot come up, step out. Turn, out. Other side. Oh, I was almost going into something else. So that's just being able to transition from the normal left side Santi to the right. Also can be considered walking Santi, or the beginnings of sort of this splitting palm almost. And I'm going to review that when we do Pichuan, and then add the fist into it, and build off and go from there. So review the posture, the feet, two different methods of the hands, how to combine all that together, and then how to step from one side to the other. Again, I recommend using Santi as a standing, setting some sort of timer, maybe starting 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 2 minutes if you really want to do that. Stretch out a little bit first. I'm telling you, them shoulders, you're going to feel them shoulders. Them shoulders are going to be like, you, buddy, suck. And it's going to hurt, and it's going to suck. And the back leg, whatever back leg you're working on, that back leg is going to be like, dude, I hate you. And then you're going to switch. And that front leg and that other arm are going to be like, oh, thank you. And then the arm that's forward now and the arm that's back on be like, oh, no, you didn't. I don't like you. But that will change. As your alignment gets better, that leg's going to be able to take more. As your relaxation gets better, your arm's going to be able to take more. All the little interconnective stuff, especially in with the deltoid and in with the trapezius and in with the pectoral. You got the lat. There's something else up here too. I forget that. Treas major, maybe up there. I think. Don't eat me alive on the comments. I'll look it up later and then edify myself with that. But there is the leading with the lat. So it's not just arm straight. You've got to kind of extend that lat a little bit to keep that over. So that is basic Santi stance. And without me being there to tweak stuff in and be like change alignments and everything. That's what I got for you for a YouTube instructional bit of malarkey there. So like, subscribe, share, ring bells, comments, tell your friends, and read and practice and breathe. Remember to breathe. That's the thing. P.S. Postscript. Breathe. I almost, a lot of times with my students, if I'm teaching or stuff, I can almost feel people holding their breath after a certain amount of time. It's just like everyone's saying, like, it's like, breathe. Something came out. Again, breathing here. Breathe in, pull in, exhale, push out. This is exaggeration. Don't do it like this. But dantian, lower dantian, breathe in, pull in, exhale, push forward. Nice, even breathing. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Don't worry right now about all the, do I hold my breath on the in? Do I hold my breath on the out? Do I exhale more than I inhale? What would Wim Hof say? Don't worry about all that. Right now, keep it even. Keep the inhale and the exhale even. Keep it in the lower dantian. Keep your mind in that lower dantian as well. When you start getting the physical thing, okay, I got the alignments, got the physical thing, keep that, keep an eye, keep that mind, keep focused on that dantian, and that helps all that other stuff light up. My teacher, he was able, when he sort of was able to light up that kundalini, was with Santi. Mine was with this. I really felt it kind of come up with that. Actually trying to help keep someone warm at a haunted house, because it's me, of course. I'm going to have that happen at a haunted house, because that's how I roll. But my teacher had his practicing Santi standing. Not even just playing the Shingi forms or anything like that, just practicing Santi standing. He did that. It's awesome. It's great. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comment it up. And if there's enough of something, maybe I'll do other videos. Hopefully maybe actually start to be consistent. And rock and roll. Happy practicing. Breathe. Alignments. Relax. It's cool. Later.